Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, feel a release of tension, leaving your body as you breathe out. So as you breathe in and breathe out, feel tiny muscles starting to relax, perhaps around your forehead, jaw, neck, shoulders. Imagine a lightness. I want you to get a sense that as you breathe in, you're breathing in not just resourcefulness, but relaxation. And as you breathe in, feel more and more deeper relaxed. Feel that tension is just melting away. That's it. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a comfortable sofa, maybe an armchair, maybe a chaise lounge. Just use the power of your imagination to look at the color, the material. Imagine feeling the texture. I want you to imagine placing yourself in the most comfortable position you can. Maybe your head is supported. Notice that when you feel comfortable, you can deep breathe. And the deeper you breathe, the deeper relaxed you become. But I want you to imagine that we're going to move this armchair, this sofa, to a place in nature. I want you to picture a sunny day with blue skies. And just imagine that now you're lying on the same chair, but surrounded by olive trees. Maybe you can hear a sound. Maybe there's a temperature. Maybe you can feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. Maybe there's a smell connected to those olive trees. And just imagine closing your eyes there on that chair, in that olive grove, and just feel that you're traveling away to somewhere deep in your imagination. As I count downwards from 10 to 1, you're going to imagine that with each descending number you feel deeper and deeper relaxed. And just imagine that there is a red helium balloon attached to one of those olive trees. And as you stare, in your imagination only, there at that red helium balloon, see it floating and just get a sense that that floaty sensation is there, perhaps, in your head, needing no tension around your neck and shoulders. 10, just feeling that relaxation there in your forehead. 9, now in your jaw. Breathing in, breathing out, that's it, releasing any tension. 8, everything connected with your breath is being relaxed. Tiny muscles around your mouth and nostrils. Your windpipe. Any muscles in your neck. Your chest, your diaphragm, just release and relax all of those. Breathing becomes effortless. That's it. And 7, just Feel that the sun is melting away any tension in your neck and your shoulders. Just imagine an ice cube melting away in the sun, and it feels like the tension is melting away. That's it. 6, just feeling that relaxation going down into your arms. Arms feeling a combination of limp, loose and heavy, but paradoxically also like it's floating like that helium balloon at exactly the same time. Allow the paradoxical contradiction to take you even deeper relaxed. 5, allow your internal organs to relax. Lungs, heart, stomach. 4, into the gut. Feel your gut, releasing any clues of anxiety or tension. That's it. Going all the way down into your legs feeling limp, loose, heavy. That's it. Imagine both your arms and legs like the limbs of a puppet with no strings. That's it. Just deeper and deeper relaxed. And then 2 and then 1, just imagine deep within your imagination is a doorway. Imagine walking through the doorway down a spiral staircase that leads to a room, and allow that room to be your own private cinema. Walking through the door down the spiral staircase, deeper, deeper down, opening a new door into your own private cinema. But this is no ordinary cinema. Imagine this cinema gives you a glimpse of dreams and memories. That same sofa that was there in the olive grove, feel that that same sofa is there, that you're now sitting on watching a cinema screen of memories and dreams. And acknowledge the idea that something doesn't have to be true to be useful. Many people would consider religions aren't true but incredibly useful. And also acknowledge the idea that just because emotions are real doesn't mean that the beliefs that they're built on have to. I want you to get a sense that maybe there was a time that you felt real joy and excitement of Santa Claus or tooth fairies, even if the belief that that joy was built on wasn't real. And if your unconscious mind acknowledges that something doesn't have to be true to be useful, and doesn't have to be real to create real emotions, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And then allow a film to start. I want you to see a child. Perhaps you are the child. Maybe just 3 or 4 years old. Maybe in a classroom, maybe a school. And I want you to just be the spectator, feel attached to that sofa. But imagine this cinema, high resolution, surround sound. You can hear everything, see everything, but it's through a screen. And just observe what you observe. But imagine that you have a remote control. You can rewind things to bring it before even the memory or dream starts. You can pause. You can zoom in at different things, all from the safety and comfort of that sofa in your own private cinema in your mind. And just observe. Whatever comes up, treat it as reconnaissance. Not truth, just information. Data. That's it. Observe and notice what you notice. And when you feel you've seen that there's all to be seen, let me know by nodding your head. And then rewind it to before it even started. But this time, play it forward with all your wisdom, all your knowledge from the present moment, and now play it forward as you would have wanted it to have been. Turn perhaps that younger version of you with all of the knowledge, verbal and linguistic skills that you have, all of the intelligence and experience that you have. Put all of that into that child and play it forward, perhaps as you would have wanted it to have been if you had all of your current knowledge and experience back in that moment, and play it forward. See how things turn out differently, giving you evidence of two things simultaneously. One, perhaps you did the best you could at whatever moment in time you were in that original representation. But secondly, with all the knowledge and experience you now have, you would handle that situation differently, even back then. So play it forward as you would have wanted it to have happened if you would have had all of the knowledge, experience, wisdom that you currently do back then. See yourself with more courage, more confidence, clearer boundaries. And when you've seen it as you wanted it to have been, know that you can always return to this moment and try out different scenarios. But when you've seen things that right now you would have wanted it to have been, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to feel that by making that change in that movie, something feels different in your body. Feel a sense of shame being released. Feel a sense that anger has lost its fuel. And the disappointment has changed because now that you know differently, you can do differently. That's it. And then just allow the screen to go completely black as you go to a different memory or dream, perhaps at a slightly older age. Allow it to start and maybe see yourself, a small child in a room, maybe at night, and just observe what you observe, knowing that it isn't necessarily true but may still be useful to just observe. And maybe because you know that you're safely on a sofa watching a visual representation, maybe you see more than you normally do. And if you do, you do, and if you don't, you don't. You're safe there, just watching a movie on a big screen in your mind's eye. And allow whatever you to notice, you notice. And maybe see how young you were, how vulnerable you were. I want you to get a sense that sometimes things happen that are good and sometimes that are not. Sometimes things happen that are fair and sometimes not. Sometimes people can be trusted and sometimes not, and just observe. Release any emotion attached to what you're seeing, just observe the details. You just see what your mind wants you to see. That's it. And when your mind has shown you everything it wants you to see right now, let me know by nodding your head. And then rewind it. Feel the remote control in your hands as you rewind it. And this time, you can rewind it to before it even started. You could even imagine going back into the memory, coaching and preparing that small child as to how you would want them to deal with the situation differently. Feel that you're back there on the sofa, watching a movie, and then play it forward, exactly as you would have wanted it to have happened. See that younger version of you with all of the resources that maybe you didn't have back then, but you would want now. Fearlessness, confidence, courage, strength. See yourself handling the situation or reliving that moment exactly as you want. And maybe that's something heroic. Maybe it's something completely boring. Nothing happens at all. The scariest thing for a child sometimes is the unknown. The monster is under the bed or in the closet until they look. But what stops them looking is the fear that something might be there. So play this movie forward without any of those limitations or restrictions. If it is a hard reality, see them facing that hard reality with courage, strength, and defiance. Or maybe you create a memory which is empowering in a different way. Maybe you could see yourself arriving at the wrong conclusion based on insufficient information. And all you do is, in this new memory, make the accurate evaluation, not knowing if the evaluation is true or not, caring more that the evaluation is useful. And when you've updated this dream or memory to be how you would want it to be, let me know by nodding your head. And before we leave this cinema room, I want you to imagine that if these movies in your mind were actual memories, the way you wanted them to have been, I want you to see how that would change key events in your future timeline. I want you to see yourself with the same enthusiasm, intensity, energy, but see yourself with less shame. That the anger is used in more discerning context. That volatility, those tendencies, see them subtly changing as the timeline updates all the way up to the present. And once you see those updated timelines, like a butterfly effect, like a different reality, that one thing leads to something else that leads to something else, that subtly shifts your future. And I want you to see that future version of you as less vigilante and more humanitarian. That the anger is evolving into empathy. That sense of justice is still there, but with a different outlet. Take it all the way up to the present, and I want you to see someone empowered by their past, not defined by it. And once you can see that all the way up to the present, see in the movie that the present moment is you on a sofa, watching a movie of a memory or a dream. And when you feel that you're in the present on that screen, then it's time to leave that room. And as you leave the room, you close the door behind you and feel that you're walking up a spiral staircase. When you get to the top of the spiral staircase, see that there's a door, but notice how light you feel. That something dark is lighter inside you, and as you open the door, I want you to see that there is someone that looks like you, fast asleep on a sofa in an olive grove, and just step into that version of you and feel that you're ready to find that that same sofa is now inside an apartment or building that you recognize. And then feel that you're drifting all the way back into the present, acknowledging that you've been on a journey of thoughts within thoughts, ideas within ideas, dreams within dreams, and that sometimes new ways of thinking create new emotional patterns that self-perpetuate into infinity. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, connect fully in the present moment as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.